I'm so happy to see you guys. I took some time to think, well, see what came through, to focus on a message before we get started. And like what came through is just too real. The words "I am divine love" came through, but it's crazy because it connected your vision, it connects your heart, it connects your healing to divine energy, to physical energy. We exalt the divine for good reason, because it's God, it's this higher power, it's this higher energy. But the divine is love. I want to say that love is not attachment. When I say love, I don't want the first thing that you guys to think of to be, what is it that I love? Because sometimes when we say that, what we're actually saying is, what is it that I'm attached to? So you need to, in this moment, disconnect from your attachment and go into a space of love. And disconnect from your expectation and move into a space of love. What is it that I love? Who is it that I love? How do I love myself? How do I demonstrate love to myself? And that's when things got sticky, when I was pulling the message. Because I saw the physical body. And every single one of us, we have a physical body, but within us is a soul. And that soul carries a vibration. And that soul carries love. And that soul connects you to divine love. That soul connects you to divinity. That soul connects you to the higher power. But that's within us. And then we have the physical body on the outside, which is just a casing. And it makes me kind of like, and this is what kind of like throws me off when this message came through, because it almost feels like sometimes the decisions, and I'm not speaking for myself, I'm just, because I've actually consciously made the choice to make sure that within the last, I made the conscious choice to make sure that I was taking care of my body, my physical body. But I almost feel like when I was pulling the message, that some things that we do, it's almost like we react to, it's the physical body gets punished. The physical body gets punishment out of fear, out of distrust, out of hatred. And it's almost like the things that we eat and the things that we do are an act of violence to the physical body. And it like makes the divine energy within you so sad and so upset and so broken down. And you guys don't realize, and it's almost like we don't realize, that how we take care of the physical body impacts the divine within us. But that divine energy, everything can be turbulent, everything can be crazy, but that divine energy within us, it stays there, still and stagnant, connected to God, connected to this higher power, just waiting for you to be still and calm and reground back in and go back into a space of love for yourself, and then sharing that love with other people. And I'm actually good, but this is just like what came through. And sometimes when I pull messages, it really does make me so emotional, because not only does it remind me of certain stuff that in my past, but it reminds me of how hard it is to be a human sometimes. And I feel like we don't give ourselves enough credit. The other image that came through was this like lotus. And I'm looking back at this weekend, and I look at how awesome this past weekend was, and my friends that I was with, and the people that I was with, and the things that are going on in my life. And I think of how, and my clients, and what you guys go through, and how pure your heart is, and how pure your spirit is, and how much you guys want things, and how much you deserve things. And it all comes from this space of like peace and love within you when you're good. But sometimes you get frustrated. Sometimes you get disappointed. Sometimes things don't work out. You try. And like, it's like some things act. And you have to realize that you're working with other human beings. You're working with other people who are imperfect, whether it be your parents, whether it be a partner, whether it be your boss, whether it be your neighbor. You're working with other physical people who are just like you and have good days and bad days and good months and bad months and good years and bad years. And life happens. We get traumatized, especially children, and I'm mentioning children because it comes from this inner wounded child space. And it's almost like the universe knows, like when you are your most vulnerable, it's when you're a child, and it's when you're working with child energy, like inner child energy stuff. That's when the universe comes in, or energy comes in. And it's not, and like when I say universe, I'm talking negative and positive, black and white. So this stuff will come in and it'll, like, for lack of a better word, it'll rape you. And at the end of the day, even if you're an adult, it's still the inner child that gets violated. And how that impacts your vision. And how that impacts how you're able to express that vision and to get creative and to go into a space where you make yourself vulnerable again, to trust and to share that vision with other people, with the entire world, when at the end of the day, something bad happened to you that blocks you from being able to trust. And you still try. And it's like this lotus. It's so fucking crazy because it's like this lotus that comes up out of, and it's so funny that it was the lotus image that came through, because the lotus actually rises up from the dirt, from muck, from bullshit, from rot. And it ends up sitting on top of the surface of water. And the surface water the water surface has to be still, or else it just won't be able to bloom healthy, won't be able to thrive. And the metaphor of that, so that means that we have to enter into a space of complete stillness. And it doesn't have to be permanent, but right now in this moment, it's like I just feel like for some of us, or maybe it's a reminder to get back into that space of just stillness, because there's turbulent stuff that goes around. It happens to every single one of us. Me, I've had shit happen to me. You guys have had shit happen to you. People that you love, they've had shit happen to them. And at the end of the day, where does that go? Did you ever ask yourself, where does it go? And then what ends up happening is that sometimes people lock themselves up, or sometimes people react, and their reaction becomes an impulse. That impulse becomes a habit. That habit becomes a lifestyle. And they're committing acts of violence to their creative self, to their spirit, to their passion, to their heart, to their peace, every single day, not realizing that that's what it is that they're doing. And we just keep moving forward. We keep trucking, and we never take that time to just be still and to sit for a moment and examine it. And it's so funny because when I was making the video of the full moon, I think it was the full moon in Capricorn video, I saw the image of people looking into a body of water, and that water had ripples in it, but it started to still, and they would see the reflection of themselves. And there's this exercise that I do with some of my clients where I tell them to look in the mirror of themselves. Like, don't look at themselves, but look at themselves. You know what I mean? Like, look into your eyes. Look into your eyes without saying anything until you fucking unravel. And then just be in that. And what I see is clarity. I see the path opening up. I see you guys intuitively knowing what steps to take, who to cut out, who to say no to, when to say no to yourself, when to look at yourself and be like, girl, this is not you honoring the divine love within you. And it's also not you honoring your physical body. This is not you honoring your spirit, your creation, your creativity, your love, your heart. So these are what I wrote down. I saw I wrote down turbulence and the external environment. So the external environment is turbulent. Maybe not right now in this moment. And sometimes we don't even realize it. But sometimes it's like all of our thoughts, the things that we hear, the things that we're working to achieve, the things that we're working to strive for. Even those of us, myself included, we're in a good space. I'm in a good space in my life right now. But it's like, I also need to take time out for myself to just sit and be still, because even the movement that I'm making, even though it's in direct alignment with what I want for myself and my goals and my vision and my heart and my passion and my love and my truth and my honesty and what I set intention for, I still, in all of that goodness, I still have to be still and take a moment and just be with my divine inner child, my divinity, my inner divinity, to look at her and make her a priority every single day and say, what do you need? What do you want? What's good? What's up? Talk to me, communicate. What are we doing? What's the plan? Talk to me. Because the divine inner you is connected to the divine. And that acts as a compass for the physical body. But then again, like I said before, every day, it's the decisions that we make that are either out of love for ourselves, and it could be something as simple as pushing, trying, and never being still, and never, what did I write down? Doing nothing in the moment, but just trusting the life force. Even as I wrote that down, I was like, just who are you? Where did that come from? I didn't think of it. And then the decisions and the action that you take come from a space of peace and love. And when we say love, it's not attachment. It's not, I'm making a decision because I love this, i.e., parentheses, I'm making a decision because I'm attached to it or because I want it. Just because you want something and you love something doesn't mean that you're acting out of love. Doesn't mean that that's connected to love. Sometimes you want something and you love it and you attach yourself to it, and that can be just as toxic. So the decisions that you make, you're going to make them. And I'm saying this, I'm setting the intention that you make them from this space of peace, and meaning stillness. And the word completion came through just now. So all of those, and when I say completion, it's a cycle. So all of it connects, and all of it, the cycle becomes complete. And the cycle is whole, and the cycle is connected. So all of it is intertwined. So your reaction, your love, your peace is connected to the outcome that you're meant to go to and the desires of your heart. So funny too, because the things that we desire of our heart, sometimes we feel like they're so out of reach, and they're out of reach because you're physically trying to figure it out. Meanwhile, you're making all of these decisions from your physical body that don't represent like the divine love within you. Do you see how all of it's fucking connected? Oh. So the other message that came through was remembering the fact that the same time that you're human is the same time you're also being divine. Like, you're not disconnected. You're not one or the other. You're human and you're a part of the divine at the same time. That should change the course of your action. That should change the course of the thoughts that you think, how you communicate, how you talk, how you love, how you express yourself. When you step into that space, everything naturally unfolds effortlessly because you're in alignment. Oh. And then the other message that came through was honor and protect the physical. And with that, I was like, aren't we all doing that? Like, am I doing that? Am I doing that? Like, when I pulled the message, I was focusing on what does my tribe need to hear? but I love the reminders for myself. And, you know, it's like, well, honor the physical body, love the physical body, and embrace that, because that's your tool for things being amazing here for you on earth, in alignment with your purpose and what you're striving towards and what you need to do here. You could be divine, but without the divine spirit within you didn't have the physical body, nothing would be able to come to manifestation. Nothing would be able to act. Nothing would be able to happen, because the divine spirit, the divine soul, the love within you needs a tool to carry out its purpose. That's why you have to honor and care for the physical body. Meanwhile, the physical body is just a tool. It's just a shell. And without the divine spirit, love, intention, it would just be this like shell. And we've all seen it. If you've gone to a funeral, you see the physical body just sitting there and the spirit is gone. When someone dies, you don't even recognize them anymore. They look the same, but they also look different. And you're like, were you in there, Grandpa? Doot, doot, doot. Okay. So that's what message came through as I was getting ready for live chat for you guys. That's what it looks like when I get messages sometimes. Everyone, my family, in the beginning, they always used to get worried for me, because they would be like, Jess, don't cry. And I'm like, don't worry about me. Like, I'm good. I'm just channeling right now. This is what it looks like. I get emotional, I cry, or I'll get like, whatever it is that is the emotion that's around is what I feel, and that's what gets expressed, and that's what it looks like. So when it comes in like a wave, I share what I need to share, especially for my clients. I will just, sometimes I'm almost rude where we'll start the reading, but I spent some time before focusing on what they needed to hear, and this stuff starts coming through. I don't even know them, and I'll feel agitation because they're feeling agitation, irritation because they're feeling it, love because they're feeling it, fear, anxiety. I'll feel certain parts of my body sore or aching or whatever, and it's because we're connecting, and that's what it looks like. So I just share my message. So I'm good. Oh my God. Alchemistic says, hey Jess, what about the summer solstice, and how can we use this information to help prepare or ask?